What's up, guys? Dave Lipson here. And today we're going to talk about the world's most favorite morning drink, coffee. I know a lot of you guys and girls love your coffee. It's got a lot of different types of benefits, requires a little bit of understanding. And today, specifically, we're going to talk about the benefits of MCT oil collagen coffee, or what's commonly referred to, you guys may know, in the world of trade as bulletproof coffee, which is a brand. And the idea of this coffee collagen blend, it really comes from a number of different places. Primarily, it comes from the world of fasting, from people who are not consuming any food for an extended period of time. And the only thing that they take with their fast might be a coffee with collagen and MCT oil in it. You might ask yourself, well, why? Like, what does that do? Well, a couple things. When you're fasting, your blood sugar gets low, and your body is doing a lot of impressive things with a fast. It's detoxifying itself. It's killing what's called zombie cells. These are cells that are dead in your body, and look like they're alive, but they're actually not. And these zombie cells are can be actually more problematic over time. So doing something like a fast is a great way to reduce them, and that's has a huge regenerative effect on the body just in whole, almost really like a rejuvenation of a lot of things. Fasting is great for building insulin sensitivity because you're not eating, your blood sugar is going to get really low. Your body's got to figure out a way to feed itself. And typically, this is a great way to stimulate a hormone called glucagon, which we've talked about today, that is released from the pancreas to take muscle glycogen and convert it back into glucose to raise your blood sugar. And doing this over, repeated long periods of time or with some level of frequency can help really retune your system to have better insulin sensitivity, which is going to be great for not just putting on muscle, but also staying lean. And I think that another thing the coffee collagen can do is give athletes a sense of satiety and fullness. So caffeine can act as an appetite suppressant. Your brain, which runs on glucose primarily, might get a little bit foggy. So caffeine can help with mental clarity. So can the MCT oil and the collagen, in addition to just the general physiological benefits of collagen protein, which is great for your joints and your connective tissue. And we've talked a lot about increasing your nitrogen balance so you have enough protein in daily intake to support muscle gains. It can all also provide a sense of brain happiness, if you will. And so when I started doing this type of stuff, I went the old school way. I did the traditional bulletproof coffee. This was like some collagen powder. I think at one point there was some butter in it, and some MCT oil. And I remember buying the jugs of oil and mixing it in hot coffee and putting it in a blender. And it tastes really delicious. But it was kind of a mess. And I noticed some people too, like going crazy with the fat sometimes on these coffees where, like, yes, you do having some fat is okay to a degree because fat's not going to really spike your blood sugar if you're trying to build insulin sensitivity. So it is kind of hormonally neutral, but it also has a lot of calories too. So, if you're trying to do something like a caloric deficit and you're taking, collagen coffee, make sure that you're not putting so much fat in it that you're blowing out your macronutrients and getting out of that deficit. And over time, after doing this, I liked it. I liked it hot. There were some things I enjoyed and things that I didn't. One, I thought it tasted delicious. Two, I thought it was generally effective for getting me over the hump when I was fasting, or if I was doing something like targeted nutrient timing, where like the first half of the day I wasn't eating anything. If I started getting cranky or having some headaches or just like was so hungry, it would really help kind of take that away. But it did become a mess, and I would only do it hot, and I love cold brew. So fast forward to Wadapalooza this past year, I ran into a friend of mine, Sam Dancer, who's a nice, kind of like me in terms of he's really excited about the bro hacks. He likes to live his best life, and he's doing all the stuff: the red light, the red light therapy, the sauna, the cold plunge. Like he gets it that it's thrive, not just survive, and use the therapies we have to really be your best. Well, he was in the booth of this company called Strong Coffee, and I said, "Oh, what is this stuff?" And he goes, "Oh, it's collagen coffee and it's instant and just a powder and you take it." And my thinking was like, well, instant coffee doesn't taste very good. because I remember like Maxwell House when I was growing up, just like it wasn't that artisan Arabic coffee, like the ones you get at the private coffee shop or, maybe not always at Starbucks, but that nicer coffee, right? And he made me one. Now, what's cool about it is that you could take it hot or cold. He just put the powder in a cup, frothed it up, and then I put some ice in it and had an iced coffee. And it was crazy delicious. And so I want to show you guys the strong coffee instant coffee blend. It's got grass-fed collagen, coconut MCT oil, L-theanine, and neurofactor. These are all for mental clarity. And it comes in a packet that is a single serving. So what I love about this is you can put it in your gym bag. It's not a big mess. There's no oil or spoons or whippers or anything you need. You can either pick hot water or cold water. You put it in, you froth it up. It's good to go. And boy, oh boy, it tastes delicious. So I'm now a huge proponent of these guys because I think it makes that bulletproof coffee more accessible to people. And I think that type of lifestyle of maybe doing a 16 and 8 fast is fantastic for longevity. Like I mentioned, it's great for rejuvenating the body. It's great for detoxifying yourself, detoxifying even organs like your liver, great for building insulin sensitivity, and just in general for longevity. So if you guys are kind of in that lifestyle phase, or if you're trying to cut some body fat and you'd like to try something kind of cool, try doing a 16 and 8 fast where the first half of your day, really the only thing you'll eat will be the collagen coffee, and then train around your feet, train around your feeding, feed around your training, and let me know how it goes and how your composition changes. Getting things like a DEXA scan is awesome for this, gives you a good reading of your composition, and you can kind of grade, is this working for you? And do you like the convenience of pushing food back until the later half of the afternoon, and just kind of keeping it simple in the morning? Because there's a time and a place for everything. If athletes were trying to put on as much muscle mass as possible as quick as they can, this would not be a great plan. But for most of you guys out there who are probably dudes like me, just like trying to thrive, not just survive, want to be my best, I always encourage you to think about not the extreme, but the baseline of where you want to go. Because, to be as big as possible usually contains equal parts favorable and unfavorable with it. And to be as lean as possible as well contains equal parts favorable and unfavorable with it. So where can you live and maintain all levels, strength, muscularity, definition, capacity, not feeling like you have to be totally strict and handcuffed every day, but you can still eat, keep it tight while having some flexibility? How high can you get that baseline? And how could you be? Because ultimately, it's not the extreme steps, but it's the incremental ones that eventually get us to a really high level. It's all about compliance. Compliance is the science. So the longer you can do these simple things well, the better probability you have of some real meaningful success over a long period of time. Thanks for tuning in, crew, and check out some links for that strong coffee below.